Hey, today I'd like to share something with you about, well, especially sharing ourselves, expressing ourselves, and deep relationships. I'm a lot into the fact of not feeling heartbroken anymore, um, which is something that I think touches or have touched probably everyone. And it's something I want to go through, not just to be able to just overcome this situation, but in order to clearly go to another level where being heartbroken doesn't really exist. Can feel sad a little bit, things like that, but not really heartbroken, because all that I think is really based on an illusion, on a false story that was created way before you feel heartbroken, on false relationships. And what I don't like in love relationship most of the time is that um, that's based on illusions and on false stories. I believe and I want that the other person brings me something, and the other person hopes I'm going to bring something to the other to herself. Okay, so what I'm doing is that I'm clearly looking at my emotions. What is the story behind my emotions, and where does all that come from? If I can perceive the false story behind that, it's easier to say, okay, I have those emotions, but I know I can see that it's clearly, made up, false, and doesn't go anywhere. So I can detach myself more easily. But on the other hand, I know I have to create another story of my life so that I can create new emotions, better emotions, so that the previous one just, I can let them go. Um, and today I was thinking, well, it's not just today, but I was thinking about what I'm expecting from a love relationship, um, from a girl, and what I've been, expecting all my life, basically, from a girl. It's not really just today. Um, I know that even when I was with a girl and that everything was fine, there was still something missing. And that something is something that I would say I wanted to share more with this person. I wanted to share much more than what we were sharing. Much more because I felt I had a lot of things I loved and I still love. I want to express and I want to share. And two things. The first is one thing which makes us happy, I think, is to be able to express ourselves, not to be able to express ourselves fully. There are so many things we want to express that really make us feel alive. So that's one thing. The second thing is it's good to express it, but what is better even is to share it. And but in order to share something, the first thing you have to do is to express it. If you give it, if you express it, you've done in a way your part in the sharing. Sharing is in both ways, and your part is to give. And if you open up in order to give, well, others are going to receive and to give in return. That's just the same way. Okay, so that's one thing. And I realize it's very difficult to, I think, to really share everything with just one person. So and that's why I think one solution really to get to another level, to change my love relationships with a girl, is to be able to share much more things with a lot of persons. I mean, much more deeply. For that, I have to open up myself, and in a way that feels like exposing myself, taking risks with a lot of persons. And that's, I think, also the problem that prevents us from feeling fulfilled and happy and living fully. We try to protect ourselves. And personally, I know that very well because as a child, I was very shy, like protecting myself from everyone else. And I really learned little by little when I grew up to open myself to others. Okay, and I still have a lot to do to that extent. So I think that yes, being able to really to look at others and sharing, knowing that sharing, uh, I don't know, sharing ourselves more fully, expressing ourselves implies that some people are going to feel connected, to feel to share the same kind of things and to enjoy that, and others are going to reject you in a way, to turn their back to yourself and to criticize yourself. That's just the way it is. We are all different, and you don't want to connect with everyone in a way. But in order to connect to some people, you have to open up yourself, and that means, yeah, see that people are not okay with that. And that's just fine, because you're not going to waste some time there and to just say, okay, it doesn't work there, fine. Works there, yeah, good, great, and you expand on this part and the persons uh, who you connect really well with, and you just don't waste your time with others, just the way it is. So I think if I can, and I think that's really something um, that a lot of persons are concerned with. If we're able to be fully ourselves, and for that, I think the real problem is not to be willing to protect ourselves from others. For that, we have to be open that some people would just don't like what we express, reject us in a way, and criticize what we think, who we are. That's fine as long as it doesn't have any value for us and we just don't waste time there. Um, what prevents us from having this mindset is that basically I think we perceive the world as we are ourselves. In a way we think everyone is like us. So if I react this way, I'm expecting others to react the same way. Which means that if I'm afraid of the reaction of others, it's very probably because I personally react the same way towards others. So I think I have to be more open and accepting much more everything, even if I don't like that, even if I don't think that's correct, and so on. And just say, okay, that's my point of view. Other people are different, react differently, and not reacting to that. Just I have my mind, okay, but not reacting to others when I don't agree. And if I able to do that, I will very probably much more. I will be very probably much more likely to open up myself and not be touched by the reaction of others. And at this point, I can have much deeper relationships and sharing much more things with different persons and expressing myself fully. And then I can very probably find a lot of things in a lot of persons and not expecting everything, sharing everything with just one girl. Okay, so I think that's a big key to evolving and changing the kind of relationship, and especially the love relationships I have with girls, which are bound to fail because I can't expect one person to match everything I want to share in my life. And sharing is, I think, the best experience we can have. Sharing free, real values that we have with others is probably the best experience that makes us happy, really. So that was my thought of the day. I think that's very deep, and that's a big key, a big part of the solution to changing my world and being really happy in my relationships, and especially with girls. Okay, I'll talk to you very soon, and have a great life, because you are great, obviously, right now without anything else. Okay, express yourself. That's probably the best way to realize that. Have a great life. Bye bye.